Okay, I'm trying this again, creating your Google site. So you see how I'm logged on to my um, home Google account, my personal Google account, but up here I'm synced with my school account. So if I go here to the waffle and I scroll down here, I'm not going to be able to find Google Sites. But if I go all the way down here and then under Explore All Projects, I just do and again, I'm logged on here, so I don't want that. I want to actually be in my home account. So let's see. I'm going to do Control F, and I'm going to type in the word site, and there's Google Sites. Okay. But again, it's making me sign in using my school website. I don't want that. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to change to my home account. And now I'm in Google Sites and I'm on my home account. So now that I'm on my home account, when I create the site, I will be the owner of it. And when I graduate, I don't have to worry that I'm going to lose access to the site. So I'm going to click here to a blank website. Please don't click any of the template ones because the template ones have stuff in there that you don't need for this assignment and therefore you will have to delete. It'll actually create more work for you. So I'm going to hit the blank one to start a new site. And I'm going to name the site up here. Let's see. I'm going to name the site up here Rachel Windenberg Portfolio. Now, in this case, it's actually going to be my student's work, not mine. So I'm going to put of student work. So now I'm going to go here to the site name and it will actually should give me the entire site name. Yep, portfolio of student work. It should be the same. So make sure that this is named the same as that and make sure that you use your full name and you start with your full name. Don't just call it portfolio. Because if anybody was to search your name, you want it to be searchable on the web. So you put your full name and what the website is. And you can see that you created a home page here. So this is the home page. And you can put something here. I like to pull this text box out to give me a little bit more room. And I also like to, this is your home page, but you're actually going to make the text a little bit smaller. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble fitting everything in. So I think 48 points is actually better. Now, this is your home page. So you can put something like a welcome page, like welcome to the website. Okay, something like that. And then down here, you're going to add a photograph of yourself and explain to your viewers who you are and what the website is about. So I would, in addition to putting welcome to my website, I could just hit return. Yeah, give myself a second line. But I would actually write my full name up here. Okay. Yeah. And under here where it says change image, there's actually a nice gallery of images that you can use, or you can upload something from your computer, but just to make it a little bit more personalized. Let's see. So you could do by URL, you could do search, you could do your albums, Google Drive, or upload. That's pretty. Why don't I upload this? Okay, and then you can actually, there we go. So what you're going to see though is see how the image is very distracting. So you might want to either pick an image that's just color, or you might want to use the images that are available on the in the gallery, so you don't have something that's going to completely distract. See how these sort of recede and they allow your lettering to pop out. So that would be how you would kind of personalize the first page. So you would probably want to insert a text box, and you would want to explain what the website's about. So it gives you the size of the font. It gives you whether you want your stuff centered or justified left. You can change what font you use, and you can also change the size of the font, whether you want it in bold, etc. So there's lots of stuff you can add in here within that text box. But right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some additional pages to this website. So I'm going to just go to our Google Classroom. I'm going to hop over here, and that means I have to switch to my school Google Drive and go to Classroom. And in our Google Classroom, I did put, let's just go to our class. I did put under classwork a rubric for creating your Google site. So let's take a quick look at that. So the rubric says that you need a home or welcome page, and you also need an about page. So I'm going to go to my Google site, and I'm going to go to pages, and I'm going to add in an about page. All about me. Okay. Or just the word about. And you'll see the word about shows up here. And if you click on that page, you're on the about page. And if you click on this page, you're on the welcome page. Now, the next thing I need to do is a portfolio page. So I'm going to go here again, and I'm going to go to pages, go to this plus sign, and I'm going to put portfolio. For you, you would just put portfolio, but for me, I'm going to put of student work, because I don't want anyone to think that this work is mine. It's my students' work. So now I'm going to hit the word done, and now I will have a portfolio page. Now, if you were a senior capstone student, you would also need a blog page and a capstone page. If you're a junior, you don't add those until next year. So don't worry about them at this point. But the next thing you have to do is incredibly important. You're going to have to hit this plus, and this is for sharing, okay? And you're going to have to add 2 people as editors. The first person you're going to add is me, and you add in my email address, which is rachwinenberg@paps.net. And you're also going to add in your paps.net email, so that when you edit, you can actually edit from your very own. You don't have to log out, log back in again, or have both accounts open. You can actually edit while logged in under your student account. So you would add that in as well as an editor. So I'm going to hit send, and that notifies my work email that they've been added as an editor. And therefore, I can now edit even if I'm logged in under my school account. And you're going to take this URL right up here. You're going to copy it. And your website's not been published yet, but I need the URL, the address of your Google site. So you're going to go over here to our Google Classroom, and it says here, here's the assignment. After watching the teacher demonstrate, place the link to your Google site in the private comments here. Now, what that means is that you put it in the private comments. You don't submit it. You don't upload it and turn it in as an assignment. You put it in the private comments, and then you click here to send the private comment. If you accidentally mess up and you submit your Google site, you will not be able to edit it because you will no longer be the owner. I will be the owner. Okay, so you don't want to do that. You want to put it in Google Classroom as a private comment. Okay, and then the next thing that you're going to do real quick is you're going to go to your Google Drive. And let me see here. In my case, I created a portfolio folder in my school drive. I do not suggest you do that. I suggest you create your Google folder in your personal drive, because when you graduate, you don't want to lose access to all that stuff. So keeping that in mind, I'm just going to go to my drive. In your case, you would go to your personal drive, not your school drive, where you've hopefully previously created a Google folder. Now, what I did with my Google folder is it's called Rachel Winterberg Portfolio Folder for Final Exam Demo, because this is your final exam, is I starred it, okay? That means that I clicked here and I starred it. That makes it easier to find, okay? So I highly suggest that you star your folder. The next thing that you need to do is you need to share it. So you go here to share, and you need to make it so that anyone on the internet with the link can view this folder. If you don't do this, what's going to happen is you're going to create your entire Google folder. You're going to upload work from this folder onto your Google site, and no one will be able to see it. It'll say, you'll publish your Google site, you'll be able to see it. It'll look fine when you're logged in as you, but anybody who looks for your work on the web, it'll just say, it'll be a big white box with the word Google in it, and it'll say, you don't have permission to view this, and it'll mess up your whole site. It'll also mess up your grade. So you need to change the sharing settings. So if it's on restricted, that's bad. If it's on Perth Amboy Board of Education, that's bad. It needs to be on anyone with the link. Okay? It's very important. So everything that you're going to put on your website is in this folder, and the folder is viewable to anyone on the internet if they have the link. Now, what I can do is I can go to the first item that I want to put in here, and I can hit get link and then copy link. And now I'm going to go back to my folder. And if I go down here, I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to do embed, and I'm going to just paste the URL from that first image here, and then I'm going to insert it. Okay. The next thing I highly suggest you do is create a text box, and take that text box and just make it the same size as the image you just created, and then move it up so it sort of attaches itself to that image. And then down here, you can caption that image and explain what it is that you added, who created it, and what the assignment was, or any other interesting, pertinent information. But make sure on the first day, after you create your Google site, that it is in your personal drive and not in your school drive, and that you take this link, first of all, that you add me as an editor, and then you take this link and you add this link to this assignment so that I have the link to your Google site and I can help you build it. Okay? And that's the entire tutorial for today. Okay, so I wanted to show you some of the finished websites that my students have done. So I'm going to just take you to the websites of my senior capstone students, because they're about to graduate and they have been working on their websites for a long time. So let's go to, let me show you this one. So I just want to show you real quick. This student did a good job on their site. They've got their photograph. They've got their about information. They have their portfolio, but one of the things that you'll notice on their portfolio is that if you look at the sharing settings, obviously they put something here that is not shared properly and we don't have access to it. So that's why I told you to put everything into one folder and make that folder sharing settings public. Anybody with the link can view, because then you don't run into this. Unfortunately, it's going to, detracts from the overall website. So that's something I wanted to show you, and why you need to be very careful to put everything. If it's a shared project that you did with another student, create your own copy of it. If it's something that you submitted to a teacher, unsubmit it and create a copy of it, so you're not requesting access from the teacher, but make sure that you actually have a copy in your Google Drive folder, okay? So this person also has a blog page, and they also have a page with their capstone project, which in this case they make and sell they actually make and sell their own lip gloss. But in any case, so once you have created your site, what you're going to do is you're going to publish it. Okay, once everything is in order and you and I have reviewed it together, you would publish your site. And if you fixed anything, if you'd previously published it and then you fixed something, it would show you the draft and what was currently published, so you can actually see the updates. Then you would hit publish, and now instead of the project, you would also then share with me the link. So this is the link to the actual website. This is if you're editing the website, but this is the link that sends you to the finished site. So if I copy this link and I go here, I'm not going to see all the stuff for embedding and editing and uploading images. I would just see the finished website. So I would see the home page, I'd see the about page, I'd see the blog page with all the updates. I would see the page where she sells her lip gloss, and I would see the portfolio page. The only thing that you'll need to fix is you'll need to change access to this to this file, and then she would have to then publish it again. So she would have to go back to her editing page, and she would have to fix this. And then once she was done, she would have to publish it again, and then the link would be the same. But if you make any fixes and you edit your website and you don't republish it, everyone's still going to see the old version. So that's the one thing you need to be careful of, is that once you change something, you're going to want to republish it. And that's pretty much it for now. So right now all I need is the page where we can make the edits. I don't need the finished link yet, but for your final exam, I would need the finished link. Okay, so actually I would need access to both, because next year when you're a senior, you're going to be you'll need to add a blog page, and you'll need to add a senior capstone page. So I would need access to both, the ability to edit your page and also the finished website. And that's it for this tutorial.